Oh, geez. He's in a terrible spot. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, okay. Set it down right there.
Show the people.
Show the people?
Yeah.
Show the people. Oh, people. The cooler that is giving us all the headaches is all the way down in here. I don't know if you can see. Can you see from there? Can you see the stainless steel braid line right there? You see where I'm pointing?
Kinda.
No. Anyways, it's down in the valley. It sits on top of the engine oil cooler. It's not terrible. Granted, everything up here has to come off, but it's not terrible. I don't hate my life yet, so.
It's a big yet. It's not terrible, it's just gonna suck a lot. It's gonna be a process, but it shouldn't be anything we can't do.
No, it's the fact that I can see everything that has to come off and see what I need to remove. I'm not worried about it. It's a lot. You gotta strip the whole top end off. We're gonna leave throttle bodies, upper lower intake together. Hopefully we can work around the fuel rail, leave the injectors in. I really don't want to disrupt them and have to deal with leaky injectors or replacing O-rings or anything like that. Try to take it out as a big old unit and see what other secrets this thing has and start replacing all the junk, like our cracked intake boots. I mean, look at the quality of the rubber. Quality. Looks like it's got the Coronas.
I wish I had a Corona.
Well, I mean, the people wanted content.
The people wanted content, and they're gonna get some content.
This is more serious than what we've dealt with in the past.
A 2007 Ferrari restoration is what's happening at this point.
With the rebuild as well.
Yeah.
It's like a mix.
A mixture. A chalky milk concoction.
Like what was in the...
Correct. Yes. I'm surprised that didn't look worse.
Well, it's gear lube.
So
It's just so thick. It just doesn't really mix.
Oh.
What? What is...
Hello? It's that weird PCV line goes into that, huh? Right up onto the MAF.
Where did that come from?
The PCV goes into the bottom of the tube here, and I'm assuming...
The map is just full of oil?
Well, it probably filled into here. Probably filled into that baffle. But we will have to undo the PCV system. How we go about that, I don't entirely know.
That map's gotta be dicked. That's full of oil.
More than likely. You're gonna mess up the intake manifold paint. If we're replacing this anyway, I kind of just want to pull this tube off.
That's what I was asking. So I don't know if you want to take a side cutter and just cut that band clamp, or open it up with a screwdriver.
Would have thunk that an intake boot that we have to replace because it's junk would have like gasketed O-ringed fittings and a stud. Ferrari. What did you move on to right away?
I took my throttle body wire off, and then this clip do a half turn, and then the harness will drop down, and then now I'm on to these vacuum lines.
And then were you just breaking these clips for the vacuum lines on the bottom of this manifold?
So I was able to tap the smaller one down and off, and then I ended up using the hammer and forced my way in and angled the other one.
Oh geez, he's in a terrible spot. Ooh, ooh. Little vacuum clip tray there to get these right out of the way.
Yeah, I tucked it under the frame. Injector clips face down, so then the harness is like right in the way of getting a little pick tool in there. There was like a brace or a bracket right here. Can you see this? Is it a hose?
That line? Yeah, it's a hose.
Let's see.
What
I
the?
thought there was some sort of brace or bracket on the back corner.
Ooh, there's something. I don't know what it is. But a hose kind of goes through it. See what I'm looking at there?
But does that go down to the block or to the head?
It goes down into the valley. It looks like underneath the coolers.
I think that has to. You have to loosen that top one though.
Yeah, I think so. That's weird. Are we almost gonna have to take this off?
No, it comes out as a unit.
Okay. I don't know what the hell that is. All right, so now what? We're doing trying to figure out this rear thing, and then we're gonna actually do the manifold bolts. I wonder what that is. If these throttle bodies are electronic, what is that? The disassembly of the intake manifold and everything that holds it on is about done, so we're about ready to pull it off. We got the main hardware that holds this on at the gasket point, and then some sort of miscellaneous bracket at the back, but that's all we really got to work with. We're gonna take out the bolts holding it on, get it lifted up, see what that bracket in the back actually does and how to go about taking that off, and then it's ready to come out and we're ready to start dicking with the cooler. So minus having to bend over, like, this is not a hard engine to work on. Honestly, it's worse working on my PT Cruiser with a lot less room. So
That is true.
pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I don't have any complaints right now. It's not that bad.
Not that bad.
Especially once you get the intake out of the way, like you can access everything.
Everything.
And then if you had this out and you unbolted this cross member, you can literally touch everything.
Which is, it's 8 Allens, and you'd be able to pull the head off from here. Take
You would
these
do
guys out.
Full service, which
Might have to happen.
might as well put new spark plugs in it.
Yeah, while you're in here.
When in Rome.
Serpentine belts.
Oh no, don't say that. You have to do that from the interior, I believe. You
On
take
these, do you have access on a
You
430?
take the seats out, and then there's an access panel that comes out
That sounds
to
scary.
get to all your front accessories.
Ooh. Ooh. Come out. Did it hit the ground? Did it land in the oil?
Okay. Want me to lower the hatch right now?
Then let her down, bud. So we just have that bracket in the back, try to figure out, and then try lifting it, I guess.
Probably some secrets, but
I'm assuming there's some secrets, but I believe I'm now ready.
so I think there's a vacuum line back here, but I don't know where it goes. I think we'll be able to lift it up and maybe set it up here, and then see what else is back there.
Okay.
Okay, set it down right there.
Well, now the real question is, where'd that nut go? Oh, look, there's coolant in the V. What a surprise.
Well, buddy, good news is the intake came off with no fuss.
Yeah, it just pulled right off. There's no hidden, nothing on it.
It was actually really easy. All right, so what's next?
Come up with a game plan for the lines. Like
Sweet Jesus.
do we just drain the... Shut the f*** up! Probably come up with a game plan to drain the coolant so we don't make a huge mess.
Yeah.
We don't have to take out a lot. It's essentially whatever's in this hose. I mean,
Correct.
that's not bad. I assume the trans fluid isn't going to be up here unless there's a pump running.
Correct. All right, so what we'll do, pull these 210s off for the wire harness. Pull the wiring harness Does this just open up?
Yeah.
So open that up, get that out of the way. Looks like that bracket unbolts there. Move that out of the way. And then what do you think? Do you think crack a radiator and wait until this is empty? Just drain it from the radiator so we know we're pulling everything out of here so we don't make a huge mess in the engine bay?
I would. So the cooling system has to be, the lines have to be disassembled for that bracket to come out, correct? Well, it all kind of does, doesn't it? But it's got to be loose anyway, so if we undo the cooler, we can pull the cooler out from under the bracket, correct?
Yeah, you basically just lift this up and slide it out.
Okay.
What I'd probably do is take the coolant lines off, crack these loose,
See what
take
happens?
the cooler out, stand it up, let it drain any oil out of it, maybe put like a rag down. So at this point, what we're ready to do is drain some of the coolant out of the system. We'll probably just crack one of the drains on the front radiator, wait until our reservoir tank is empty. Then we will crack loose our oil cooler lines, pop off the coolant lines, and then pull this dirty SOB out.
Then find out why there's coolant in the V.
I'm hoping it's just a gasket on the cooler and not something else.
Specifically the cooler that we're replacing.
Correct.
Good luck, guys. Six, so one washer, that's good.
Oh, I got blood.
Oh, hey, look, it's right on there. Two washers, all right, well, that's good.
All right, guys, so here's our culprit. All that screwing around with this little stupid sandwich plate cooler. It's essentially just a small radiator. You got your coolant that flows in and out, and the trans fluid that it runs in and out. And somewhere inside of here, they decided to cross paths, and now they're mixing with each other, so that's sick. Supposedly this is like $1,000.
What? That looks like just literally a regular oil cooler.
That's because it says right here, Ferrari.
Yeah, that'll do it, huh?
Yeah, my thought was if this was my car, and to me, having something like this sitting, right in the V of the motor is the most efficient for dissipating heat, and your trans temp is going to be whatever your coolant temp is going to be. I would do like a remote cooler, something where you're relying on airflow. Just eliminate this whole assembly and not have to worry about, because this is a common failure for these cars. It was also common on the 360s and the 355s, which had a different design. This is a new design and it still fails. You don't think it'd be that hard to make a cooler that keep your fluids separated, but apparently it is.
I wonder if the Ferrari race cars have an external and they did this to save room for street cars. Maybe that's where their inexperience lies.
Essentially, that's it. It really wasn't it wasn't bad. It wasn't hard to do. You just gotta take your time, make sure everything's labeled, and you're not try to manhandle anything, break anything. But I mean, what do we need? 10 millimeter flathead,
Couple Allens.
couple Allen, nothing to be afraid of to do.
It was more difficult leaning over the side of the car than anything.
Slightly uncomfortable, but luckily for us, we don't care about our paint, so we didn't have to be like extra careful. If this was a car you actually cared about, I would definitely, protect the side because you are all up in it.
So what are we going to do moving forward? Are we going to experiment with an external, or are we going to try to replace if we can source one?
That's up to Alex. Used is not an option just because this is a common failure. We'd be stupid to buy a used one. You have to buy a new one. I don't know if they've revised the design since. 13 years later, you'd think they would come up with something a little better. It's in Alex's hands. It's like $1,000 to replace it back to factory, or like $100 and a couple of fittings and find a place in a wheel well to hide a cooler.
Well, so I guess we'll see if we can find one, see how much it is, and if we can't, we have a backup plan.
Oh, look at that. Coolant.
That's not good.
No, trans fluid came out. None. 100% coolant.
That's ideal.
Well, if we take over the sink and I plug this side and put water in this side, I want to see how quickly water comes out of the oil side. Like, just for fun.
Let's try it just for shits and gigs. Well, hopefully that same amount of rust is inside of the trans.
Hopefully this isn't rusty trans bits.
Well, it very well could be. Yeah, I feel like if you have a trans cooler, you want minimal chunks. And by minimal, I mean 0.
All right, guys. Well, I guess that's it for today. We're all torn down. This little bitch caused over problems. We are currently looking for all possible solutions for that. I think next, while we wait for parts to come in, because we're not only replacing that, we're going to be replacing some vacuum lines, fuel lines, anything like that. Those intake boots that look like shit. We'll take advantage of the engine bay being ripped apart and start diving in the exhaust. I think. I don't know, Sean, what do you think?
I think we should.
Like,
may as well. I mean, it's
kinda, but then we don't get the satisfaction of starting it after we install it.
the access is there. I think the disassembly of the exhaust, at least, is a smart way to go about it. Maybe hit her with some WD-40 before we go home tonight. Let that soak for a bit.
It's that, or start diving into suspension. I mean, now that we know, like, the motor's not junk, it was just a stupid leaky cooler, we have a plan to fix it. We can start diving into fun things while we wait for the parts from Ferrari to come back.
Yeah, more tear down.
More tear down.
Overall, that wasn't a bad job. I mean, a guy
wasn't.
could do this at home with a basic set of tools. It really was not.
And with that being said, if you needed to dive deeper into the motor, removing that like H-brace and maybe these two side panels, you can literally get to everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a difficult car to work on by any means. So yeah, all right guys, well that's it for today. Finger guns. We will see y'all next week.
Okay, bye.